One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. Today we're going to look at my worst sales for last month. When my channel got remonetized, I decided I was no longer going to record every single thing I sold on a daily basis. It was really slowing down my normal workflow, and instead I was just going to go back and once a month do a best of and once a month do a worst of. And right now we're going to look at 30 days of failure, 30 days of mistakes. I picked out my 10 worst sales for the month of April. April 2025. Now this first one we're going to look at is the $10,000 pyramid game. It sold for all of $8.81. I probably got it at the Goodwill bins, which means it probably weighed 2 pounds, so I likely paid $4.18 for it. Note, I messed up the shipping and only charged $5.99 on shipping, which is my under 1 pound rate. There is no way that thing went out under 1 pound. And then look at the nice, complicated setup I did to take the photos of it, and apparently I even counted the pieces because it says 1 piece missing. I would have done financially better on this, obviously, had I never bought it, or even if I would have purchased it and thrown it directly into the trash and spent that time doing something else instead. Next one up is a toddler backpack, the Skip Hop Jump Giraffe backpack. I think this is one of Julie's old backpacks, or I got it at the Goodwill bins for under $1. Either way, didn't have much money into it, but also didn't make much money either. I don't like to sell things for $3.97 that cost, that still take a full photo session and still need normal packing. And it shows ground advantage shipping there, so apparently it weighed somehow over a pound when it was packed up. Oh, I just closed a window. Great. Wonder what we lost there. We lost something when I closed that window. Maybe I'll come back and find it. All right, next up. All of $3.76, a lot of 5 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. This took forever to sell, getting price dropped over and over and over again. And you see how little money it brought me. And, oh, gosh, it's old. Well, I'm looking at the background. This background's from 3 years ago. And I only charged $5.99 shipping, which would have been fine, but this would have been over 12 ounces shipped, if not over 1 pound shipped. So I lost money on the shipping as well. Should have thrown them right into the trash. Next up is a holographic puzzle. Says $2.99, but I know this sold at a 10% off offer. So it really sold for $2.69. I wouldn't have made a dime on shipping. And once I count the effort it took to pack it up and keep it under 12 ounces to at least break even on the shipping, it just wasn't worth it. Trash would have been better. Vintage Airworld magazine in poor condition, $2.99. What makes these $3 magazines like this not worth it is the fact that I've got to wrap that sucker in cardboard so it doesn't get more destroyed. That brings the weight up to the point where I'm absolutely, if I could even get it out under 12 ounces, I'm certainly not going to make any money on the shipping, and it takes me forever to ship. I mean, I could have handled 10 trading cards at the same profit and price point as this item instead in the same amount of time. All right, this is another one that went on a 10% off offer, so it was really $3.70 something. A palm grip sander. I just own more than one of these, which is why I listed this up for sale. It's got that red background, which means it's from 3 years ago. And somehow it had $5.99 shipping attached to it. And it weighs about 3 pounds. I remember when I did this, I figured out that I cleared 11 cents on this item. Isn't that good? 11 cents. This Adidas hat went out on an offer, so I know it sold for $5. This is my kind of bare minimum for hat. When I found this hat, I thought it would be much better, but apparently there were just a ton of these already on eBay, so thus I got my, bare minimum price I like to get for a hat. I mean, I take whatever I get for a hat once it's already listed because they don't take any time to ship, but still, not good. These things are prepared slides were a Goodwill bins pickup, $4.99, which is my minimum listing price these days. If I can't list it for $4.99, other than standard envelope items, that is. If I can't list it for $4.99, it goes into a lot or it goes into the trash. Didn't really cost me anything, but also just bare minimum sort of item. And I shuffled these things around 5 or 6 times before I actually listed them, which kind of increased my labor on them. Another one, Warhammer 40,000 bit sprue. These are little pieces to a plastic model. And $2.99, I would have had to burn a bubble envelope on this. And going by the title, V8 Crisis Battlesuit, that means I actually put some research into figuring out what this is. In this case, I don't think there was enough on this sprue for it to be worth it. I should have lotted it up with more fairly empty sprues. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to try to figure out what in the world that I accidentally closed out. Alright, I figured it out. That last item, that last mistake was this set of Wholesome Dragon Dominoes. In the original box, apparently there's one domino too many, which I probably should have tossed out the extra domino rather than including it. Not sure why I made that choice. Probably because I didn't want to have to go through the dominoes to figure out which ones were supposed to be there. Either way, brought me all of $3.29, and I probably built a box for it. Not actually built a box, so much as wrapped cardboard around it and cut it in the shape of a box. But either way, not worth it. Was probably a Goodwill Bins pickup. Alright, I think I'm going to get back to listing some stuff now and answering questions, because I'm actually getting some sales again on eBay, and it feels pretty good. Thanks for hanging out to the end. Hope to see you again soon.
See, that's One Foot Flipper's nonsense video.